What's going on? This is Mr. Mason Luke, and today I am finalizing my last video as part of the traveling Sybian contest. So, when I was at Sex Geek Summer Camp, I got to experience the Sybian for myself while I was there, and then I got to take part of this Sybian contest in which the company owner and the company itself sent a Sybian to me to try in my home for a couple weeks and experience it by myself, experience it with a partner, and be able to share it with friends if that was a choosing of my own. So I want to tell you a little bit about the entire experience as a whole. It's sort of a conclusion to what the entire experience was about. You can look back through my videos on the channel or in this playlist that show what my experience was like at camp, to getting it for, at home when I got to unbox it, seeing all the different fun things, talking about each of the different attachments that I got to try and what I really liked. The one piece that you guys won't get to see that was part of the contest was something called the journal. So every day after you'd use the Sybian or do something with it, whether it was with a group setting or with a partner, you could journal about your experiences or their experiences and add them to the journal. So because I am not sharing the journal, that's going back to the company and being shared as the Sybian keeps traveling around. I want to share my experience overall and give some highlights of it that were really cool in my opinion. So I went through each of my encounters with the Sybian with the different attachments. So that's in its own video. So this is going to be more so about trying it with other people. So I got to do a couple different things. I got to try it with my partner. Unfortunately, our schedules really didn't work out the week that I had the Sybian at home to be able to have her try it honestly more than once. Because she tried it she tried two different attachments one time, or in one setting one day, and she really wasn't too interested in it. But it was literally the first day we got it because I was being a nice partner and was like, why don't you try it the first time? I didn't, I've already tried it once, it's the first time you get to try it. So I thought I was being nice by doing that. Turns out I probably should have waited till we figured out more about the whole pins and risers thing, because it would have probably been better for her to use a spring instead of a pin. But, it's a learning curve till you figure out what's really good for you and what would be good for a partner. And so she didn't actually get to have the really pleasurable experience that everybody else did, unfortunately, because she ended up working late, almost every night I had it. And then the cool part was I got to take it with me on a road trip. So I happened to be taking it to Rhode Island with me, which was an adventure in and of itself. So I was going on a sales meeting trip to Rhode Island to do stuff with my Athena's company. Excuse me. And so for this, I got to go to a big sales convention. I think there were 300 goddesses and Adonai there, all who sell sex toys. So, it was the perfect setting. You put a whole bunch of sex geeks in a room and in a convention area, and what do you get? A lot of openness, So I packed up the Sybian. There was 4 people and all of our luggage trying to get into a Jeep. And let me tell you, I had to unpack it and repack it so that, everything fit. We had to hold a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, I think there were 5 of us on the first trip. Because we went from one car to 5 of us had to go in a vehicle first with all of our stuff. And then we had to get to a second vehicle where then we at least dispersed into 2 cars with 7 people. So we got to spread out a little bit more. But it was definitely, actually there was another one. Okay, so 8 people. It was a lot of people. So picture all of 5 people's stuff crammed into a Jeep. And then I was like, no, but the Sybian has to go here. So we made it work out. We got it there safely, no issues. But it was definitely no, we have to bring this. So the really cool part was, so I had it in the hotel room. I had my roommate at the hotel, who is a good friend of mine. I was like, if you want to sit on it, sit on it, try it out. So she was like, this is cool. She's like, I definitely wouldn't do anything with with anybody around, though. She's like, I'm very private about that. I was like, that's fine, don't worry about it. So the next night, a bunch of us had gone out for dinner. I was telling some friends at dinner, like, oh, I have this back at the hotel room. So by the time I got back to the hotel room, my roommate was sleeping. So I was like, crap, let's go to your hotel room instead. So we actually got a luggage cart from the lobby, put the Sybian on there, put some stuff on there, like with it, got the stool, like loaded it all up, and like, took the Sybian down the hallway on the luggage cart, brought it into another hotel room. And there were about 6 people in the hotel room when I got there. So there were 3 people staying there, and then there was like another group that had come over. So the door was open because, everybody was like, oh, just wandering in and out, whatever. So the one person that was a close friend of mine was like, I really, really want to try it. So I was like, let's do it. Like, why not? So she's my first tester. She actually let me record it. So you might have seen that in a previous video if you watched through the playlist. So she was like, sure, record it, no problem, whatever. And she was like, after the first time, she was like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. I think she tried it like 5 times that night. Just saying. So really, really, really liked the product. And encouraged others in the room and in the hallway to come try it as well. By the end of the night, I think I was at about 25 different people who had tried it, and a few had, like I said, that one went through 5 times, another couple of the guys went through twice because they were like, I need to try it. And then I had a couple women who tried it, didn't orgasm the first time because they're, maybe they were uncomfortable at first, or they weren't like at ease because there were like 25 people in the room at one point. But at some point they were like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to sit back on that thing and I'm going to orgasm. I don't care what people are doing in the room. So that was a really, really cool experience to be able to bring a product into, a group setting. Not really intentional to have 25 people in the room or 25 people like trying it, but just having that ability to connect with people in a different way. Like, even though it was semi-non-sexual because, they had their clothes on, I had my clothes on, but they were able to sit on, the Sybian. They were able to experience pleasure, in front of me, in front of other people. And what I did was I had them very similar to what my first experience was. I sat on the machine and Bunny, the person who runs Sybian, the company, showed me the controllers, and she kind of like showed me like by adjusting it herself, like, okay, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. How do you like this? So that's what I did with the person. I was like, all right, I'm going to turn it up a little bit more, and a little bit more. And then, until they got comfortable with it. And it went really, really well. We called me the ride operator for the night. Little conductor, okay, I'm going to turn this little knob. And so it was really, really an awesome experience, having people willing to, do that interaction with me, with other people. I feel like, honestly, I couldn't be more close to this group of people now. Like, if you're willing to try a product for me, and for yourself, and orgasm in front of me, or, even at least try to, you can't get much closer than that. So it was definitely a great experience that way. I did have a few people after that night. I think I went back to my hotel room around like 2 a.m. When it was said and done. And then the next morning I had a couple of people that were like, oh my god, I can't believe I missed last night. So I got to at least have one of them come back to my hotel room the next morning and got to try it full-fledged. Like, I was like, if you really want to take off your clothes, like there's no one around, like that's fine. And she took me up on the offer and was like, you know what, if you don't care, I don't care. I want to really try this and experience it for myself. So she got to experience it, very similar to how she would experience it on her own. Fully, well, not fully naked, but like, she was able to take off her, waist down and be able to properly use it, in a more comfortable setting with, only me around, not other people. So that was my experience with, all the different people that I kind of interacted with. I had one other person that really, really wanted to try it. Our schedules just didn't work out to try it. So if I do ever get a Sybian in the future, I'll definitely, if more friends want to try it, be my guest. Like, we'll make arrangements, and I think everybody should at least get to try it one time in their life, like, because it's freaking an amazing, amazing sex machine. So that's my experience with it. Couple things about the contest itself. Thank you so much, Bunny, for what you did, to get this whole program started, coming to Sex Geek Summer Camp, putting out this promotion, and letting us, get to experience it first of all. Like, you sent us a machine in the mail for, to try at home for a few weeks, like, to see, how we liked it and how to experience it with different ways. So I'm so thankful for this experience, one. Two, I mean, you're putting on a contest where you could potentially win a free Sybian. Like, oh my god. Like, who does that? Like, this is like an over $1,000 item that you want to give away to people that you're already letting try it at home for free. And we got to keep our attachments too. So, like, that was a huge value in and of itself for you to just send to us, let us keep things. So thank you so much, Sybian, for just putting on this whole thing, letting me experience things, and just doing the contest in general. So I'm extremely grateful for everything. And if you guys want an opportunity to try it, I don't know how that works. I, got to do this thanks to Sex Geek Summer Camp. If you're interested in finding out more information about Sybian in general, you can contact Sybian.com. Sybian, spelled like this, Sybian. This is their logo, so you have an idea. And I recommend checking them out. There's a lot of videos online on their website that are professionally done. There will be more and more probably review videos similar to this coming out from other Sex Geek Camp attendees that are going to geek out over this and do the same kind of in-home experience. I hope that they make similar videos to what I do, so you guys can see even more stuff if you're really interested in this product. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much, Bunny. Thanks so much, Sybian, for doing everything. I appreciate it, and can't wait to hear more from you and your company soon.